your self-belief should scare small-minded people. The amount of belief that you have in your goals for your life, whatever it may be, it should scare the average person that isn't willing to put in the work that you're willing to put in to get to whatever goal that you have in your life, right? And I'll use me as an example. If you guys have been following along with my content upwards to this point, a year and a half ago, I was homeless. All I had was a freaking truck. I was sleeping in an abandoned building. I wanted to become what I am now, which is an online fitness coach and just help men transform their lives through the gym, and that's all I wanted to do. I had no idea how to market. I had no idea if it was going to work. All I knew was I was kicked out of college. I had to figure something out, and I had to believe in myself in order to keep going on a day-to-day basis. And that's the thing that a lot of you guys need to understand, is that in every single area of your life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, whether it's your physique, anything that takes effort and takes time, right? Anything worthwhile takes these two things, effort and time. If you're going after something worthwhile, you need to have a ridiculous amount of self-belief, because if you don't, you're in for a rude awakening, because that's the moment where a lot of people give up, because they realize that this is a lot harder than they thought it was going to be. It was a lot harder than they set out for it to be, and it took a lot longer than they thought it would in any area. For example, I'm married. My relationship went through so many ups and downs. There were so many times to where I thought it might not work with my wife. It might not work with where we want to go, with what we want to do, with our living situation, whatever it may have been. But the only thing that I had was faith and belief in myself and my ability to show up every single day, right? And I'll use this example because it's the easiest thing for you guys to consume. It's the easiest thing for you guys to digest and understand. If you put two men with the exact same goal, let's say they want to get in the best shape of their life, and they actually want to be confident in themselves. They actually want to be able to show up. They want to be able to go to the beach and take their shirts off. They want to be able to just be comfortable in their own skin, right? That's going to take work. That's going to take effort, and it's going to take a lot of time and consistency. Let's say one man has 100% belief, an undeniable, unbelievable amount of belief in himself, no matter what the current situation may be. Let's say he's 90 pounds like I was, dude. I'll use me as an example for this first person because it fits it perfectly. When I first stepped foot in the gym, I was 90 pounds. I was ridiculously insecure. I had no idea what I was doing. And the only thing that I thought I wanted to achieve was just a better physique, and I wanted to actually be confident in myself, and I didn't want to look in the mirror and hate what I saw anymore, right? When I stepped foot into the gym, I made a commitment that I was going to show up day in and day out. I was going to build a physique that I was proud of, and I was going to put in as much work as possible, or as much work as necessary, and I would show up day in and day out with that belief in mind. And because of that, I was able to get to a point to where I'm genuinely proud of the man that I see in the mirror. I'm genuinely proud to see the physique that I've built over time, and because of that, I was able, in order for me to get to this point, I had to understand when I started that it was possible, and I had to have an undeniable amount of self-belief. My guy Leo's coming up here. Yo, Leo, say what's up to these guys.
Well, what's up? This is for the vlog?
No, this is just like a raw talk.
All right.
About self-belief.
All right. Hey, and I just like this video. I skipped to this one part of the video to see myself in the video, talking about liking the video. Now I'm sharing it, and you should do the same exact thing as well.
But like I was saying, if you put the same person in the same scenario with the same goal with no belief in themselves, they're going to fail. Because you're going to have times in your life to where things are going to be uncertain. You're going to have times in your life to where you don't know if the work that you're putting in now is actually going to pay off later. And this one thing, that amount of self-belief that every great man had to be inside of them in order for them to make it happen. Because anything, it's freaking loud down here, anything that's actually worthwhile, like I said, is going to take so much time, it's going to take so much effort, and it's going to take so much consistency. And if you have no self-belief, how the hell are you going to be able to show up on days to where things don't make sense, to where things aren't adding up, to where things aren't panning out the way that you thought they would? Because if you think that you're going to achieve any goal in your life and it's going to be easy, it's going to be a walk in the park, you're in for a rude awakening, because that's where a lot of men find themselves at. They think, oh, I want to start this business, I want to be with this woman, I want to start a family, I want to do anything that's actually worthwhile. Initially, I didn't think it would be as hard as it actually was, right? Same thing with the gym, same thing with marriage, same thing with anything, bro. And like I said, I'm married. I'm 21 years old. I'm married and I'm running my own business. In order for me to get to this point, I had to believe in myself to some extent. I had to have that fire in myself that no matter what happened, when I was freaking homeless, when I was living in that abandoned building, when I had no shower, no toilet, I had to believe that this would be worth it, right? And the only reason why I'm at this spot now to where I'm able to speak to you from experience is because I had that amount of self-belief, right? There's a quote that Ben Bader would always say. Rest in peace to Ben Bader. He was a huge inspiration in my life. It's so windy out here. But he would always quote this one thing. And I might butcher this because I haven't seen the quote in a long time. But the whole point of the quote is, if you have a fire inside of you that is pushing you towards a certain goal, no matter what it may be, it is your duty, especially as a man, to go after that goal, even if it means that fire consumes you from the inside out and you freaking die going after it, right? Any other form of existence is going to be terrible for you, because you know, if you're watching this video upwards of freaking 6 minutes, you know that you have some goal in mind. You have some physique that you want to achieve. You want to be confident. You want to choose a life to where you're genuinely happy with the man that you see in the mirror each and every day. But in order for you to get to that point, in order for you to actually achieve whatever goal that it is that you may have, you have to, one, show up day in and day out no matter what. And in order for you to have the ability to do that on a consistent enough basis to actually see the output of your input, you need to have so much self-belief. Think about all the great men in the world. Anybody who's achieved anything incredible, right? I don't know any artist that comes to mind. Maybe Kanye, but he's freaking tweaking out most of the time. But we can use him as an example. Like, at one point, he had to start off as a nobody. At one point, he had to start off as somebody who just picked up the mic for the first time, and he wrote songs and he produced songs and he put them out into the world with a belief in mind that he would be great. And it's the same thing. I know that may be a weird example. It's just the first thing that came to mind. But it's the same thing when it comes to every other aspect of your life. Because this journey, no matter what it is that you're doing, if you want to be a freaking doctor, if you just want to show up and work a trade, if you just want to be more confident in yourself, if you just want to build a physique, if you just want to make more money, whatever it may be, it comes down to two things: faith and belief. And they're interchangeable. Like, you can put these in the same pocket, right? Faith is one, having enough belief in the Lord that he's going to make a way for you, that he has a plan for you, that he wants you to achieve whatever it is that he has in his will. He wants you to be able to provide for your family. He wants you to be in abundance, whatever it may be, but also have belief in yourself that you can show up and that it's possible, right? And I recorded this video once on my phone, but I ran out of freaking storage, so excuse me if I already said this, but if you're jumping out of a freaking plane, you're going skydiving, you need to have 100% belief that that freaking parachute is going to go out when you rip that string, right? If you jump out of a plane and you don't believe that this freaking parachute is going to work, you're not going to freaking jump out of it unless you're just a freaking maniac and you're ready to die. But any sane person has to have the belief, when I rip this string, this parachute is going to go out and I'm going to hit the ground semi-softly, because you still hit the ground pretty hard when you're freaking skydiving. But I want you guys to take this. I know I'm saying a lot of the same thing, but take this one thing if you're still watching this. You need to have undeniable belief in yourself that no matter what the situation looks like, no matter if you're dead broke, no matter if you're freaking 90 pounds, no matter if your relationship is rocky, if you have a goal in mind, you need to have so much belief that it's going to work out in your favor that you show up each and every day as if it already happened. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to achieve whatever it is that you want. Because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. You're not going to be happy all the time, and you're not going to love it every single second of the day. But over time, as long as you have that consuming fire in you that knows this is going to be worth it, I'm going to make it happen in every area of your life, in any area of your life, you're going to be okay, because you're going to be able to show up regardless of what happens. So I want you guys to take this, put it in your back pocket, and understand, without that belief in yourself and without faith, you're not going to freaking achieve anything, because it's going to be difficult. And anything worthwhile is going to be very difficult. Now, if you just want to be a loser, you want to just sit around and smoke weed every day, jerk off every night, be fat, be a loser, walk around freaking chopped, insecure in yourself, go ahead and do that. People do it all the time because it's easy. But if you're a man who actually wants to achieve something, if you're a man who actually wants to provide for his family, if you're a man who actually wants to be confident, if you're a man who actually wants to have a physique that represents who you are internally, then you're gonna have to deal with the hardships. And the only way that you're gonna be able to endure that is by having so much belief in yourself that people around you think you're a freaking maniac. I love you guys. Jesus loves you too. Shoot me a text on Instagram if you want. Link to book a call with me if you want to work with me or not. Doesn't matter to me. It's there. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.